Ted Cruz, of course, well, he took a pretty good drubbing last night, but apparently says he wasn't rattled by his loss. And now, of course, he's looking toward and betting everything on a contested convention. Take a listen to what he just said.
I recognize that last night was a good night for Donald. It also surprised nobody. What is clear today is that we are headed to a contested convention. Nobody is able to reach 1237. I'm not going to reach 1237, and Donald Trump is not going to reach 1237.
Joining me now, Representative Reid Ribble. Representative Ribble, this is Ted Cruz is your guy. Obviously, we knew he wasn't going to win New York, but the size of the degree of the loss was somewhat disturbing. Do you feel like perhaps all of the momentum that Ted Cruz had coming into New York completely squandered now, and maybe the wheels are coming off a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I think when you look at the eastern part of the country, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Delaware, those states, I think most people expected Donald Trump to play really well there, and certainly in his home state he did, just like Ted Cruz played well in Texas. As this race moves to the west, when you get into Indiana, the Dakotas, Oregon, Montana, I think those are states that Ted Cruz is going to do equally well, and the momentum going into the end of this race is going to all swing toward Ted Cruz, I believe.
What do you make of some of these constituents within the, some of these segments that we look at closely, from conservatives to evangelicals, groups that Ted Cruz is banking on big time? They sort of let them down, certainly in the South. They started coming back in the Midwest, particularly Wisconsin. But last night it looks like they abandoned him yet again.
Yeah, well, you know, I think New York is kind of a different animal. Certainly it's where Donald Trump has lived his life, and he's been a big star there in the New York media scene. And so I don't think there was really any big surprise. As far as the demographics of it, sometimes I think they follow the trends of an entire state, just like they did in Wisconsin or Texas. And so I don't know that I read a whole lot into that at this moment.
I want to ask you the same question that I posed to Representative Collins with respect to going from here, Ted Cruz's game plan. He acknowledges he can't get to 1237. Mathematically, it's impossible. And some people are a little worried about what he may do now to wrestle, if you will, arrest the nomination. Is he going to play within the rules? Will he take advantage of loopholes and gray areas? Will it be on the up and up to the point where the American people, particularly Republicans, can feel satisfied if he is indeed ultimately the nominee?
Well, you know, I think ultimately there's a communication problem that the Republican Party has to deal with. Every state has their own set of rules inside the GOP, and so there's a different mathematical equation for every state. As you're aware, Pennsylvania has a very different method of selecting their delegates, and they're not really appointed based on who wins the state. And so it's a really interesting dynamic, and every state is different. I think where Ted Cruz has actually shined in this thing is he's really immersed himself in the rules of the individual states, and he's done the grassroots work at that state level to have delegate support at the convention. So I actually give him credit for that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He has taken advantage of all the rules thus far. Representative Ribble, thanks so much for coming on the show. Hope to talk to you again real soon, because this thing, I don't think, is over just yet.
Not yet. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot.